Are these the Arnolds?
Dad? My dad?
Aw.
Enjoy watching you on the big screen.
Yeah, nice to see you in person. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hello. Good to see you in person. Welcome, welcome. It's so good to be here. Good to be here. Yeah. We're excited.
Yeah, well, yeah, opened a lot of doors. So,
You'll cool down quickly here. Sure.
yeah, I can feel it already.
All right. Waterfalls of music. Gentle showers.
Yes. Shabbat shalom.
So these are syllables that are magic words, of course, right? Ta-da. But they only work if you sing them. Please join us. See, it worked. It belonged to Jordanies. Jordan. Ta-da. Ta-da. Karatia Anani Vamechavya Mina Mesa Karatia Anani Vamechavya. Here we go. Ta-da. Fear and shame, called to one who has no name. A melody came, dispelling darkness like a flame. When a narrow, feral mind tries to hide what's true and kind, put pride aside, let wonder open wide the eyes. Ta-da. Ta-da. From Psalm 119. Min hametzar. When a narrow, feral mind tries to hide what's true and kind, put pride aside. Let wonder open wide the eyes. When breath and beauty fill me, fear flees. What can a person do to me? Love's here to help me as I look and strive to see with eyes emptied of antagonism. Silence whispers more wisdom than the most trusted advisors of men. Silence whispers more assurance than the most trustworthy benefactors. So welcome and Shabbat Shalom. Greetings, friends. We've gone through fire this past year and a quarter, right, or more than a quarter, and so tonight we're going to pass into water and take a nice cleansing bath in music together. So join us in wading in the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. My God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water, gonna wade in the water, children, wade in the water, 'cause the trouble in the water is godly too. That's the Reconstructionist version. Yeah, the trouble in the water is godly too. Sukkot Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Spread over us wings of peace. Shalom, Shalom. Draw waters in joy from the living well. 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 In Hebrew, Mayim Chaim, waters of life. Mayim Chaim, waters of life. Shalom. Again. Oh, Mayim Chaim, waters of life. Shalom, Shalom. So maybe I'll try again. Fans got turned down, so maybe the candles will stay lit. So balancing the elements, water, fire, in perfect proportion. And join me in the blessing for candle lighting. And for those of you on Zoom, get some candles out, set your space. We're thrilled to have you join us as well. We'll gather in the light, gather in the peace, gather in the fluid powers of healing of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Yel Shabbat. Foreign nations surround me, spinning tales, circling me with names I cannot pronounce. I am engulfed by strange syllables I cannot say. Words swarm round, crackling like torched thorns throwing sparks, more names that I cannot pronounce. Pitchu li, undo the deadbolt on the gates of justice, through the front or around the back. I'll let you know now I am coming in. This is the way. The gate opens for those demanding justice. Kabbalat Shabbat, we often choose from a selection of psalms to welcome the Sabbath. This is from Psalm 23.
Roi Adonai, Roi lo 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 echsar. Befriend me, guide me, you beside me. There is nothing more I need, nothing more I need. Oh, nafshi yeshoveh, kosi revaya, nafshi yeshoveh, kosi revaya. Ach tov v'chesed, ach tov v'chesed yedifni. Your good love runs through me in grace and giving with all souls living on nafshi yeshoveh, kosi revaya, kosi nafshi yeshoveh, kosi revaya, kosi revaya, nafshi yeshoveh, oh, kosi revaya. Oh, this cup of love, it overflows. Ooh, and I am never, never alone. Kosi revaya.
May your cup overflow. Odecha. I get it now. A humble response arouses gratitude that could save me from myself. Even ma'asu. A skipped over stone sinks not. The one the builders rejected in haste later takes its place as the head cornerstone. Each consonant and vowel in speech and script, every particle and wave in time, space, and soul has its time and place. Such a wonder to behold. Ze hayom. This is the day. Each and all rolled into one. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. Anna Adonai. I am, we are, in need of help, we are, I am. I am, we are. In luck, we are. I am. We're in luck because we have a minion. We can do the next prayer. Would you join me, rise for the Baruch Hu? So remember, we'll start with a melody. Da-da. Oh, the wrong one.
We rise and bow our heads, calling in your name, blessed Holy One. We see you in each face.
Together. Blessed Holy One, your presence in this place, hidden in plain sight, you fill our lives with grace.
Et Adonai Hamevorach, Hamevorach.
Together. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach, Hamevorach Leolam Vaed. Ya da 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 da. All right, nice, thank you. You can be seated. Coming together, bringing our love, and preparing to practice love with one another and the one.
find the places. Holy love, holy love, from below to high above, we have fallen, but we are falling in love. This holy love, holy love. We are the lovers and the loved. We are the lovers and the loved. We are holy love. Make us holy, holy. Make us a holy love. Holy, holy love, from below to high above us, high above. Oh, we may have fallen, but we are falling in love. We are this holy, holy love. We are the lovers and the loved.
We are the lovers.
We are the lovers and the loved. We are holy love. Make us holy love, holy love.
Olam, 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 ahavat olam. Ahavat olam, 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 ahavat olam.
We are the lovers and the loved. We are the lovers and the loved. We are the lovers. We are holy love. Make us holy love. We are the lovers and the loved. Ooh, ahavat olam. Ahavat olam.
Grateful, silent breath of life. Voice your thanks. Ki leolam chasto. That loving deeds endure. What say you, Yisrael? Share your seeker's song. Ki leolam chasto. That loving deeds endure. What say you, house of I will sing? Play your peacemaker's song. Ki leolam chasto. That loving deeds endure. What say you, witnesses of wonder? Announce amazement to the world. Ki leolam chasto. That loving deeds endure. Let's do the Shema together. It's bearing witness to wonder and love. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. So these readings I'm interspersing are all from the same psalm, Psalm 118, which is used for Hallel. And also in Hallel, broken up in different parts, like puts the end at the beginning and the beginning at the end. And so I did that myself. So this is from the middle of that psalm. Words, oppressive, weighing me down, falling short. Still something steadies me. O Z, my strength. Discerning eyes and yes, my song. Word-free melody. Unmuted and triumphant, a voice, joy and deliverance resounding in vaulted halls of justice and piety. Nourishing wondrous love exalted. Nourishing wonder-making love into a life of valor. I will not die, but live, and make each breath count. Musar me. Help me embrace this discipline, tracking actions and implications measure for measure, that the next breath given not be taken from me and given to death. Ozi v'zimratya. My song is my strength. Ozi v'zimratya vayli lishua. Ozi v'zimratya We'll keep singing it until everyone's singing. Ozi Zimratya Vaili Lishua. Ozi Zimratya Vaili Lishua. Second part. Ozi Zimratya Vaili Lishua. 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 dressed up in red. Must be the people that Moses led. And see those people dressed up in blue, yeah, they keep on singing their song. They'll make it through, yeah, they keep on singing their song, and they'll make it through. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef eleh.
Those people dressed up in black, they've come a long way and they ain't never turning back. Well, we've come a long way and we ain't never turning back. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. The trouble in the water is godly to this trouble in the water is godly to.
Those who sow with tears will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. That's the whole thing. Help us. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. Said those who sow in tears will reap in joy. Those who sow, they sow in tears, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears, will reap in joy. A prayer for dew. A little bit of moisture would help us out, right? Colorado. Livracha velo liklala, l'chaim velo lemavet. Livracha l'chaim l'sova. That's your part, so let's try it again. Livracha velo liklala, l'chaim velo lemavet. Livracha l'chaim l'sova. Tautelei ora, Tahir Adama, Tautelei bracha, Tivarech Adama, Tautelei Gila, Tagil Adama. Adama Taltale Ditsa Tidashin Adama Livracha Velo Liklala L'chaim Velo Lemavet Livracha L'chaim Livracha L'chaim L'sova Droplets of dew. This is you. This is you.
Live.
This is verse 2. The two English verses. We'll do it together. Droplets of dew aglow. Blaze amazement all around the earth. Droplets of dew, compassion. Droplet delight. Livracha velo liklala. L'chaim velo lemavet. Livracha l'chaim l'sova. Droplets of dew, effortless ease, moving love. Droplets of dew, harnessing holiness, happiest hands, hoping Livracha velo liklala. L'chaim velo lemavet. Livracha l'chaim l'sova. All right, got a little bit more of the alphabet to do. Here we go. Droplets of dew, imperfect eyes. Rise, rejoice, and rinse the earth. Droplets of dew, justice and joy. Come quick in equity for all on earth. Droplets of dew, kiss us with peace. Patiently, safekeeping the earth. Droplets of dew, loving allowance, manifest human kindness, moisten love on the earth. Livracha velo liklala. L'chaim velo lemavet. Livracha l'chaim l'sova.
Happy person.
Livracha velo liklala. לחיים ולא למוות. כן יהי, כן יהי רצון. The prayer for good weather is as perfect as the weather. Well, greetings, Shabbat Shalom. What a delight to have you be here and have us have some cool breeze coming through. This Shabbat, we are continuing in the, which book, Carolyn, is it? The book of Numbers. Well done. On the spot and everything. Midbar, the Hebrew for the book of Numbers, also is the same root as the word for words. So we are struggle in the wilderness of words, and the use of words becomes a prominent feature of this week's Torah portion. We're going to, and Elizabeth, you can share the screen. I'm going to take you through the text of several passages from this week's Torah portion, and in it we'll look at how the theme of water and access to water in the wilderness takes place. So we'll do chapter 20, a little bit of chapter 21, and a little bit of chapter 22. You okay if I read to you? Okay. The Israelites, the whole community, arrived at the wilderness, the Midbar of Tzin, on the first new moon, and the people stayed at Kadesh, and Miriam died there and was buried there, and there was no water for the community. This juxtaposition opens the door to associate Miriam with finding wells in the wilderness. She dies, there's no water. And they turned on Moses and Aaron, Miriam's siblings. Why have you brought God's congregation to this wilderness for us and our beasts to die there? There's not even water to drink. It's like you guys have been saying, you can't even go to the synagogue. Moses and Aaron came away from the congregation to the entrance in the tent of meeting and fell on their faces. The presence appeared to them and spoke to Moses, saying, you and your brother Aaron take the rod and assemble the community, and before their very eyes speak to the rock, that it may yield its water. Thus you shall produce water for them from the rock, and provide drink for the congregation and their animals. Moses took the rock, and Moses and Aaron assembled the congregation in front of the rock, and he said to them, listen, you rebels, shall we get water for you out of this rock? And Moses raised his hand and struck the rock twice with his rod. And out came copious water, and the community and their beasts drank. But God said to Moses and Aaron, because you did not trust me enough to affirm my sanctity in the sight of the Israelite people, therefore you shall not lead this congregation into the land that I have given them. Those are the waters of Meribah, meaning that the Israelites quarreled with God, through which God is sanctified. What did Moses do wrong? Why was Moses punished, I could say? He used God, he gathered the community, and then he was supposed to what? Speak to the rock. He was supposed to speak to the rock, because I guess Moses couldn't sing. And he did not. He spoke and yelled at the people. I don't know, like water shamed them or something, right? And instead he hit the rock twice. So as rabbis say, well, how come the water came out anyway? Because he didn't follow instructions. If you don't follow instructions when you're doing plumbing, it doesn't come out. And they said, Why punish the people for Moses' mistake? Chapter 21. They set out from Mount Hor by way of the Sea of Reeds to skirt the land of Edom, because Edom didn't want them cutting through their yard. And the people grew restive on the journey, and they spoke against God and Moses and said, "Why did you make us leave Egypt to die in the wilderness? There's no bread. There's no water. And we have come to loathe this miserable food." You catch the irony? There's no bread. And yeah. There's bread. They just don't like it. It's like your kids. They don't want the lunch to be made, right? So God sent seraph serpents against the people. And they bit the people, and many of the Israelites died, like in a pandemic. And the people came to Moses and said, "We erred by speaking against God and against you. Intercede from us and take away these snakes, these serpents." So Moses intercedes for the people. And God said to Moses, "Make a seraph figure and mount it on a standard, a staff. And if any of you is bitten, and they look at it, they shall recover." So Moses made a copper serpent and mounted it on a standard, on a staff. And when anyone was bitten by a serpent, he would look at the copper serpent and recover. We haven't yet reached this level of vaccination where you can just look at the vaccination and it'll cure you. But we do see this symbol on every ambulance in the country, right? Derived from our Torah portion, the serpent around a staff. Chapter 22. And from there to Be'er, which is the well from where God said to Moses, "Assemble the people that I may give them water." Az yashir Yisrael tashira hazot ali ve'er enula. When the Israelites crossed, I'm stopping reading so you can look at me. When the Israelites crossed the Red Sea and they got to the other side, then the verse goes, Az yashir Moshe, or Miriam. So then, after they crossed the sea and left Egypt, Moses and Miriam sang, and the people danced. Here it uses the exact same and its unusual phrase, Az yashir. And then he sang, or it sang, the people sang. So the people finally sang. After wandering in the wilderness, they've already been in Mount Sinai, and they sang this song, "Spring up, O well, sing to it. The well which the chieftains dug, which the nobles of the people had started with maces, with their own staffs. From the midbar to Matana, from the wilderness to the gift." So Miriam dies, there's no water. They ask Moses for water. He tries banging on a rock. It comes out, but he gets punished. He's not allowed to go to the promised land. And then in this little tiny 2.5 verses stuck into the Torah portion, it tells us how to get water from a rock. How do you do it? You sing to it. You sing to the rock. Or if you're tone deaf, you speak to the rock. Right? Or Moses with uncircumcised lips, right? Speak. So this is the link between music and water and healing and sustenance. To make it through a wilderness is all like hidden in little pockets in this Torah portion in a way that seemed perfectly suited for a night of making music, to welcome Shabbat, to come back in to the community after, right, a plague upon us. And I hope that you find your voice, that our voices, Laura's beautiful voice, so glad she's here from Oregon to join us in person after a year of singing through the computer screen. That this is our task, not just tonight, but every day, and certainly every Shabbat, where we gather and lift up our voices in song and watch water come forth from the well. So even if it's not, literal, though maybe, you think of our hardness and the hardness that keeps us from dialogue with one another and keeps us throwing stones. Just one more thought, right? the song that they sing mentions their ancestors digging these wells that are now blocked up. What did they dig them with? Maces, weapons. They use their weapons to dig wells, right? Sounds like beat your swords into plowshares, right? Use your weapons and dig them and put them in the ground and access this water. So Yehuda Amichai talks about, okay, take your weapons, turn them into plowshares or backhoes, and then turn those into musical instruments. And that way, if somebody wants to make war, they still have to turn them back into shovels and sickles before they take them to war. Would anybody like to comment on these themes of community, water, music, and healing? There's a microphone here if somebody does want to say something so that people on Zoom can hear you, or I can repeat you. Well, let's invoke these waters of healing and the names of those we may know who are in need of healing. So this melody was taught to me many years ago in Jerusalem by Chana Teferet Siegel, and it is putting this text of this week's Torah portion to music. Waters of healing, waters of life. We thirst for love and truth. Waters of healing, waters of life. Rise up, and we'll sing with you. So if you have a name of someone you'd like to contribute to the prayer for healing, please either put it in the chat or you can mention it aloud. This evening we're praying for healing for our dear friend Barb Lippman, who's in hospice this week. Brian Urso, Perry Klein, Adam Brass, Samuel Yusum, Carolyn Simon, Irv Silverstein, Joel Simon, Suni Simon, Mike Schneider, Renee Lordich, Bob Suglia, Risa Holmes, Mike Glade, Elida Glade, Susan Levin, Lawrence Fox, Ken Larner, Ron Salzman, Yehuda Binyamin, Linda Shaw, Nikki Shaw, Eileen Saltzman, Angela Fitzgerald, Edward Cohen, Cameron Hopping, Betsy Appel, Terry Noonan, Madeline Snyderman, Karen Batayelet, Deborah Schibelhut, Sally Feeder, Kim Bierbauer, Jerry Goldberg, Adam Giordani. Other names to include.
As you share is right, Hashirah, and Ula, as you share is right, and Hashirah, Zot, waters of healing, waters of life, we thirst for love and truth.
And to that prayer of healing for those we've named and those we hold in our hearts and so many we don't know to name, let us together say, Amen. Elizabeth, would you like to do announcements? We're getting towards the end. I know tomorrow we're participating in the Evergreen Rodeo Parade. Don't miss it. Starts at 10. If you want to march with us, we're meeting we can meet here at 8:15, or you can find us at the parade setup area, probably 9:30. And then we're having an open house here at CBE, and Laura and I will be doing some music at 12:30 to 2. Free Hebrew National hot dogs, and you can just eat the bun if you're vegetarian.
Or just a hot dog if you're
That's right. And next week, go ahead, Elizabeth. You want to do it?
All right. So next week we've got Pride Shabbat, and Laura will be singing again. We're looking forward to that. And in 2 weeks we've got a Shabbat under the stars. So please be sure to come to one of those, either online or in person.
Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you for hosting, doing all our screen sharing and all of everything else you do. She's pulling double duty as we're in between executive directors, so thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, Hashki Venu, a prayer for peace and well-being, and then we'll do a familiar Matasyahu song and Oseh Shalom. And then we'll have an oneg, our first oneg since February of 2020. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Hamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim. Fros aleinu sukat shlomecha, fros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night. Do we wake with morning light? Teach us, God.
I've been
win or lose, 'cause we all lose when the feet on the souls of the innocent, blood-drenched baby. Keep on till the waters stay raging. In this maze, you lose your way, your way. Might drive you crazy, don't let it face you, no way, no way.
But I never let it get me down. So negativity's around. And though someday it'll all get around, oh my life I've been waiting for, praying for you to keep up to say that don't wanna fight no more, fight no more. And our children will say one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day.
Day all this will change, keep people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free, people will be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Thinking that was also the amount of time we had to practice.
Exactly.
Prayer for peace. So this is a call and response. Oh, say shalom. Oh, say shalom. Oh, say shalom bimrama, which we do after Mourner's Kaddish. So now you know. So I do have a Kaddish list here. So condolences to those who have had recent losses. The yard sites that we're aware of for Beth Evergreen, Bernard Adenoff, Israel Diesenhoff, Leonard Ray Smith, Bradley Lewis Sturm, and Beverly Kaplan Spear. And we extend condolences to those who had recent losses. We mourn for Sharon Fitzpatrick, Bob Freed, Kate Olson, Bruce Olin Chalker, Marilyn Brown, Stuart Fox, Gertrude Goldberg, Hal Gluscotter, Josh Solomon, Marcia Kessler, and Charlie Shaw. Other names to include for Kaddish, recent deaths or anniversaries of passings. Rosemary Andrews. And on Zoom, Kieran Scheidt. And Elizabeth says, what about Mourner's Kaddish? Yeah, exactly. So for those saying Kaddish, you can rise with me and do the Mourner's Kaddish together. I don't think we have the slides in it for this. If you would like a copy of the prayer book, you can grab it there. Oh, look at you.
She's amazing.
See? Tada, tada. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba. V'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. V'agala u'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'el kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru. Amen. You can go to the next slide, Elizabeth. We'll just go right into it. Oseh, oseh, shalom,
Shalom.
oseh,
Oh, say
shalom,
shalom.
oseh,
Shalom Berman.
oseh, shalom,
Shalom.
oseh, shalom, oseh.
Say shalom Berman.
Oh, naseh shalom, shalom aleinu, shalom, al kol Yisrael. Oh, naseh shalom,
Shalom Aleinu.
shalom, al kol yoshvei tevel. Make peace,
Make peace.
peacemakers.
Peacemakers.
Make peace,
Make peace.
peacemakers.
Peacemakers.
Broken pieces brought
Together made whole.
Make peace,
Make peace.
peacemakers.
Peacemakers.
Make peace,
Make peace.
breakers.
Idol breaker. People
Come
together
together,
made whole.
oh say,
Oh, say
shalom,
hello.
oh say,
Say shalom. Oh, say shalom ben Roman.
oh naseh shalom, shalom aleinu, shalom, al kol Yisrael. Oh naseh shalom, shalom aleinu, shalom, al kol Yisrael. Oh say,
Oh, say
shalom,
shalom.
oh say,
Oh, say
shalom.
hello.
Oh, say shalom bimroma. Oh, say,
Oh, say
can you see
can you see
by Shabbat's
by Shabbat
early light?
early light?
World of peace, take flight. World where peace instead of bombs can take flight. Oh, naseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Shalom, al kol Yisrael. Oh, naseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Shalom, al kol yoshvei tevel. Waters of peace, waters of healing.
Healing.
Shabbat shalom,
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Waters of healing,
Healing.
waters of life, waters of healing. Bring us peace, bring us peace.
Make us peace.
Say amen,
Amen.
amen,
Amen.
amen,
Amen.
amen,
Amen.
amen. let's go into the social hall and we'll have some kiddush and we'll make kiddush in there. And what? Something? Challah? Yeah, we'll take that in there. And thanks for being here. Shabbat Shalom. And thank you, Laura. And thank you, Dave, doing sound, and Alan, who helped doing sound and set up, very much so. And yay, we're together again. Shabbat Shalom. Come tomorrow to the open house and come next week to Pride Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I think you could write them.